Hi there, AJ again from thedijik.com. Great to see you back for the second one on the foam roller series. In this video, as promised, upper body. That's what we're going to target. So if you have it ready, then you can just place it down on the ground and sit in front of the foam roller because we're going to start with back. Now, already I'm going to give you a few hints and tips there if you are not strong enough or don't have the control or the balance or whatever prevents you from doing it properly. And that is placing your elbows on top. Now, sinking in your shoulders, that's not really good, so try to push up. But this already gives you some extra stability, right? Because you have to push up. Now you can imagine that doing it this way is a little bit more tricky, so you may want to use your arms. And as you start to roll up and down, obviously you cannot touch here anymore, but you can also use your arm. So you can see I'm contacting with my arm all the time as I'm rolling my back. So this is the foam rolling for back. Now it's almost like you're using the sole of your foot to pull the ground as you go forward. Now I suppose that's pretty natural, but I'm going to mention it to you anyway, because some people may have difficulty to do this, technically proper in the first place. So basically that's it, right? That is the back. Now, as I mentioned, you want to control with your arm and also that part of your arm, but you can also hold your legs, because as soon as you touch your legs, your body will become more united, so to speak, and that also gives you more stability. So I'll show it to you in this way. If you do this, that is the most, let's say, difficult version. Then with your arms is a little bit more easy. Now if you hold your legs, that can help. So have a look and try to see what is the best fit for you. How can you use the foam roller, roll your back and do it properly? So always make sure that you have some quality in your movement, even if that means lowering the pressure, or getting some helping aids, and stuff like this. That really helps you to be able to do it properly. So that's the first one, right? The back. Pretty simple. Now, the next one that I'm about to show you, I am not sure how it works for women, but we're going to do the pec, right? So in other words, your chest muscle. And in this case, you want to place it in a 45-degree angle because you're going to lay there on top, right? So I don't know how this works for women. Maybe you can give it a try. But what I do know for men is that you can just lay down on top of it and make sure that it's this 45-degree angle, right? So you have your arm over it and then you just move from side to side like that. Pretty easy, right? Just like that. That's it. There's nothing to it. I have to admit this position is a little bit uncomfortable with shifting your weight, right? That's not too convenient. Let me just show you one more time from this side. It's sort of my training as well after all. Alright, so back on top, arm over, make sure to make it a 45-degree angle. And then, for example, this knee, you want to position it so that it helps you. So maybe this will help you, maybe this will help you. In my case, I believe that bringing it a little bit higher is a little bit more useful. And then do it this way. I would not recommend you to do this, because if you bring your arm in, then actually you're going to tense the pec, because this action of your arm is actually done with your chest muscle. So make sure to reach out. So let me show you one more time. On top in a 45-degree angle, reach out with your hand. Place that knee high, and at least in my case that works very well. Now you can see this hand can help rolling as well as this knee. And because I'm not making this movement, that muscle stays relaxed. See? That's how you can target the chest. So now, obviously there's more. Let's go back on our backs, because we are going to target the shoulders. And the shoulder is a very, very complicated, there's a lot of muscles going on there. As you can imagine, right, it is a, you have a hinge muscle or a hinge joint, right? And this is a ball and socket joint. So there is way more muscles to make sure that they can move like this and like that and like that. There are so many muscles there. So we're going to use two ways to target the shoulder area, which is very difficult for foam rolling. But I am going to show you these two, which I use every day. And they are very relieving, I can tell. In fact, we can do an experiment. You can do it too. If you sit down like this, then just raise your arm and then see how far you can go without, overextending or bending your spine. So basically, try to get a straight spine. And now, this is more or less what I can do. Have a look after. So, similar to the back, but now we have to make sure it's all the way there. See? So you may want to push this up a bit. And my advice is always to bring these arms on top of the foam roller. You can even do them behind your head, because now you can, move your shoulders in this way. But having said that, I always advise anyone to experiment, because sometimes I will bring my shoulders like that. So you can retract your shoulders, you can bring them forward, and you can see, whether that targets just a little your shoulder from a different angle. So this would be a way, and then I can open them up again. And that would be a way as well. So you can see, as I mentioned, the shoulder is a pretty, difficult area to use for foam rolling. So already by bringing your shoulders a bit like this and like that, so forward and back, by closing and opening your shoulders, you can target them a little bit from different areas. Now the second one for shoulder is again in a 45-degree angle, and then it is right there. Right, so this is the angle, and this is especially if you have a rotator cuff issue. If you know that this kind of movement may hurt, you definitely want to do this. So like that. Now I'm waiting a little bit, exactly on the spot that hurts the most. I'm just holding it a bit, basically depriving it from blood flow, and then rolling again. Because yes, I want to roll, I want to make it dynamic. I want to make sure that it softens up the tissue, but I also want to restrict some blood flow there. This is my sort of problem area, because if there's no blood flow, the muscle cannot contract. So I'm going to use these two techniques, basically massaging and trigger point, it's called, in one. And you see, I didn't do it long, right? Let's do the experiment again. And you can see, just rewind it. I'm already further than before. So it's not a flexibility thing. It's a soft tissue work, as they call it. Just relieving the muscle from some stress. You can experiment doing it straight or in an angle. Most of the time when I start straight, the foam roller ends up in an angle. That's why I advise you to do it this way. And also, you don't want to lay it down on the side. You want to basically bring your chest diagonally up, and that's when you can feel this area the best and the most. Like I said, in my case, it's not convenient. I feel a lot of discomfort in that area. So in my case, I actually want to do this like 2 or 3 times a day. But if you do it a lot, you don't have to do it long. Right now already I feel the relief. So, remember, this video, upper body, right? Stomach, you basically don't do that with a foam roller, at least not to my knowledge. So now we have pecs, right? We did back, we did shoulders from different angles. So what is left? The side of the body. This is called the lats, right? Latissimus dorsi, but who wants to know anyway, right? We call it lats in simple terms. So you can just do it like this. And remember, if you go up more, there's more pressure there, but maybe it's more difficult. And I use my right hand, if I lay with my left side on it, I use my right hand for some counter pressure, and that gives me more stability and thereby more control over the rolling. If I don't use it, see, even if I do this daily, but now I feel there's some rocking going on, I don't want that to happen. So if I do this, that helps my stability, and therefore I can get more quality in the movement. Allow me to do my right side as well. So remember, straight line with the side, hand on top for a bit counter pressure, and then just move up and down. And again, if you have a smooth surface, you may even be able to slide your leg and your butt over the surface, making that much easier. Now there's one more thing. And there is equipment for that. Basically, how do you call that? Right, dough, when you have in the kitchen, you have this thing, right? You can use it on your arm, but maybe it's even better to simply use your knuckle. So you can make a fist, put your thumb not there like we do in karate, but on the top, and then you can use your knuckle to simply rub it like that, right? So front of the arm, it's a little bit different from rolling, obviously. So the whole arm, you get a good sensation, and you get the same effect more or less as a foam roller, right? And then you go to your other arm and simply repeat the same things, right? So these are very easy ways to do your body. So now that you know about this one, you can even use that on your legs. So say you know that there's a knot right there. You can do this, right? But if you're just, maybe you are somewhere, it bugs you. If you do this for like 30 seconds, just go from left to right a bit, up and down as you go from left to right. I'm telling you, you will find relief. So give it a try and use your knuckles sometime to get pretty much the same effect as foam rolling. Now, with that being said, this concludes the second video on foam rolling. So remember, in the first video, we targeted the lower body. In this video, we targeted the upper body. I showed you how you can work your arms as well. Pecs, outside, back, and even the shoulders from different angles. So that brings us to video number 3, the next one in line, and you are going to love it. If you have seen the first one, if you have seen this one, definitely you don't want to miss out. Because in the third video, I'm going to teach you, or better yet, I'm going to reveal one of my favorite hacks. So what I've been telling you right now, that's not even considered a hack in my vocabulary, right? Those are just nice tweaks. But what I'm about to tell you in the third video, that's going to be so helpful. And all the exercises you learned from the first video and this one, it'll basically take all those exercises to the next level quality-wise, so you can be sure that when you do your foam rolling in the morning, turn it into a 5 or 10 minute workout, you will have the highest quality output and you'll be ready for today. Right, so if that sounds good, then go ahead and check out the third video. See you there.